Right, this is the day after the day before. I'm more organised now. I've cleared the top of this TV stand thing, and I've got a proper Allen key. Still stuff enough, really tight them there. I'm just looking at this here now. Go upside down, it doesn't matter. You see the outline of the bracket? It's just slightly higher than what the plastic is. This is not critical as long as both sides are the same. So I'm going to put that level with the top of that. It doesn't really matter. I'll measure up. I'll measure up whatever the measurement is. I'll take these screws out now and we'll get this moved across. It's just the tiniest wee space off the bracket on each side. So I'll take this off and move it across. There's big screws holding it on and wee screws. Quite a lot of screws. Of the first one made now, do you know the thing is, do you see if you just went and bought a new sheet of plywood? I don't know what a sheet of plywood would cost now. That's 18mm. That's a good quality. You'd probably pay £45–50 for a sheet of plywood now. Back in the day, you'd pay £20 like. But if I had a new sheet of plywood, you would get the boys to cut it in the shop, whatever size you want. That's used to be 50p a cut. Even if it's £1 a cut, speeds things up. You always get a sheet cut lengthwise. But I think to make this bed here, because I'm going over the radiator, I need the height. That I think it would probably take 2 sheets because a lot of wastage. Because a sheet comes 4 foot wide, but a bed's 5 foot. So you're going to have to put a sheet long ways. So there's a lot of wastage. So you could end up paying, £80 for wood, like, for 2 sheets of plywood. And then a lot of people don't want the wood lying over. I'm using this wood because it's sentimental. That's my original bed that the Lucian shadow was on. But this bit for the bottom, that was off the wardrobe next to my bed. It's not tall enough. So I'm going to have to come up some way putting feet on it to raise it up. It's making it awkward for me. Where if I just had a sheet of wood like, then I said that's over 2 feet tall. So you're probably getting 2 sheets of wood. No, maybe not. I would need that maybe 2.5 feet tall. So that's over half a sheet. And that leaves you 1.5. It's too small for the headboard. The 1.5, so one sheet would do the footboard and these 2 side bits. And then the other sheet would do the headboard. That's what you'd have to do. 2 sheets of wood. So definitely 2 sheets of plywood to make this bed. Only because of the height I'm putting it at. But when I put it the height I'm putting it at, that means I can get storage. And piles and containers. I'm going to put my Christmas decorations under this bed. That's the idea. No more going up to the attic for me. So I'll put all the Christmas decorations into these boxes of gramophone records and all that out in my shed. They're supposed to live in here under the bed. So I don't put nothing under the bed that I use. It's just a matter of keeping stuff out of damp and all. So for the extra storage, there was a point having a bed. Like, you wouldn't get nothing under that there. You wouldn't even get a shoe under that. That's too small of a gap even to hoover. So I'm going ahead and dismantle this one now and copy it. Because I have to sort something like that there now to do with feet. The hands are easy. Doing a wee quick dry fit here. Originally when I was putting them brackets on there, I was thinking on the height of the top of this. But this is lower down. So it doesn't have to be so high. I'm about 7.5 centimeters short in this board. I'm just looking at the height anyway, because by the time you put a mattress in that, it's going to be very high. But I couldn't put the radiator any lower than I had because it's pipes run to the living room. So the radiator had to go that height. If it wasn't for the pipes to the living room, I could have lowered that radiator, but there's a pipe going off there under the living room radiator. You can see each side, the radiator could have been put down lower, so that's why the radiator is the height it is. So I have to work around the height of this radiator. The radiator is actually lower than what that is there. 7.5 centimeters. I might put a couple of wee blocks in the bottom of that. That'll raise it up on maybe 0.5 centimeter. Like wee feet, I don't know. I'll see what I've out there. If a wee fine bits of wood it doesn't show. I'm going to lower that down 7.5 centimeters. And hopefully everything will line up. And as long as that bar there isn't any lower than the radiator, it should be enough for the heat to get past. Because the bed sort of curves up. These things curve up. The metal bar, when I was trying this bed out, I put up the bed up in baked beans tins. Baked bean tins fell and look, got a bend in it. So I'm going to try to get that straightened out. And it's not hard to straighten out, but it's hard to make sure that it's very hard to use spirit level on a bent piece of metal. Other than that, I could have put the wee middle one on and worked from the middle one. But I'm going to, I always check for bargains. That has got an IKEA there. I don't know what it's for. I bought a pair of these. It was going cheap. So the metal would cost more than what I paid for it. And I just brought one out over a year ago to see what it was like built up. There were several of them. But that means that I can cut this, whatever height I need, screw it onto the floor, and these here pegs will slip down inside that. And that's going to hold the bed up in the middle. That's why I always buy all this crap. People think, what are you buying that for? You're never going to use it. You don't know when it's going to come in handy. A wee bit of metal, so it's not. I didn't buy it for this purpose. Like, you know, if I wanted it, I could even use one leg for a wee computer desk. But I like the idea of having no legs. Easier to sweep the floor. But and then I could have put legs on the bed here. I could use them as legs for the bed instead of putting on this big lump of wood. There's possibilities are endless possibilities here. But right, if you're doing the legs, you wouldn't need to have this bracket on here. It gets in the way. There's not much room underneath. And I want the bed made so I can take it apart. So that's dead handy now. I could just link that off and on now if I need to take the bed away. And instead of that, you wouldn't take it away just for handiness, because it'd still be a hassle. By the time you pull off the mattress and pull off all the slats and all, and it's like building up a new bed, like. But it just means that it can come away and go out that door there. So, won't look much till it's painted. I say I have a bit of plywood out there to go over that headboard, but I don't want to use it yet because I have to replace this here. The plywood I have, I'm going to make it wider out and make a radio shelf. I want to do that first because that's a wee bit of a complicated job. They're like a sheets of plywood. You buy the sheets, you have to get delivered a sheet of plywood. I'm not going to order a sheet of plywood just for one sheet. I wait till I get a load of wood to order. So it could be another 9 months before I buy plywood for that. Or I could go up, if everything was finished, I could go up and get them to cut up there the size and then fit into the car. But I need a wee bit of plywood for my hall. All these wee jobs all add up. So I think now I'm going to drop this down in the headboard. I'm just going to take this bracket off. This is the bracket that holds that middle beam. I'm going to put the bracket on there where I want it. If I put it about an inch above, run it down, and then I'll work off my heights of that. So I'm going to try and straighten it, and I'll put on these legs now when I'm at it, and that'll get things sorted out. So I'll go from that middle bit and then see how much to drop the rest down. There's actually quite a bad bend in that bar. I thought there was one bend, there's two bends on it. There's two bends on it. It's going to be awkward getting this straightened. This is an impossible task I've done. What I've done over there now, I've dropped that down. So I've put that screw in that hole. That's what I've done over there, drop it down a bit. That's sitting level. I'm having to prop it up on ladders and stuff. The thing is now, this next bar now, I'm supposed to see if that's level with that bar. And I can set it in there, and if this was level now, if I saw the whole lot level, I'd run a spirit level from there to there. I haven't got enough of a hand, not an octopus. I can't put it much lower than it does now, because it's near the radiator, and it's still a bit low for the footboard. The footboard is sitting level on the floor, no need to adjust that. If I try and put feet on it, it's going to be awkward. Now, the footboard is only about an inch and a half too low. The bracket's still going to fit on, so I could put the bracket on. Whenever the duvet's on, you're not going to see it. It's not going to show when the duvet's on. So they're going ahead and just build this now and get over and done with. Like, you can't put a hole too close to each other. As far as the structural hole goes, that hole's already drilled. I can drill a new hole there, but I can't drill that hole a centimetre down. There's the one above there, you see. You see I just put the wee threads on it. So it'll be a lot of measuring if I go out. So I'm going to simply drop them down to where it is. Hope that's in the right place. If it's too low, I'll put a wee space or something underneath. I'm not adjusting no more. I'll see if I get a wee slither wood to just put along the bottom of that. And that'll raise it up maybe a centimetre. But if it's slightly lower, I don't care. I'll get the jigsaw and I'll curve this down here to make it look like it's been designed that way. Because I'll be here all week. I haven't got time to get this done here. I'll be here all day. I say, if you had a couple of people or somewhere propping things up. Well, I'm not an octopus. Nothing's so easy, is it? Like, if it was all new wood and you bolted outside and everything's bolt square, but I'm building this to fit the room as it is, what's in the room already and how the floor is already. There's no adjustable feet in that, like. So she has to be cut going by whatever way the floor is. Although it works out straight, so the floor is straight, that part. But I'm saying that, if somebody buys a normal bed, you just plonk it in. It mightn't be 100% level, you know. At least mine will be. I found these wee blocks in the shed. They're off wooden furniture. That's back years ago when I got piles of scrap furniture and burnt it in the fire. I'm going to use these as feet, screw them on, and then once it's all on, I'll get a straight edge and I'll cut the wee feet flat here, and that's going to raise it up another 2 centimeters. So I'll just screw all them on the bottom. I've done a wee dry fit there. When I say dry fit, there's only 2 wee screws holding that. I moved that down. Nothing's really screwed together. It's just holding it no more. And the bits of wood are coming level when they screw in tight. That's what you want. If anything, that then needs to be a wee smidgy higher, but you can adjust them slightly anyway. It's level enough, but I think the middle beam is going to be a bit low. I might have to higher that middle beam up a wee bit until I get this completely screwed in tight. I held the piece of metal across there, but it doesn't reach the end until I get the end bracket in, and I can't do it on my own, so that'll go across the middle. So what I'm going to do now, I'll take this apart again now. It's not even screwed in there, it's just sitting there. It's only touching no more. So I'll get these all screwed on proper. I know they're in the right place. And then tighten the whole bed up proper, build it up proper then. And put in the middle bar and see where we are. So what I'll do here now, I've pen back with the pencil, put in the wee screws, and just get my drill bit then. Just keep it nice and straight. And put these screws on here then. You can't tighten these screws up fully. I've been phone on the charger here. Run out of power. So put them in about halfway. Starts off easy in the metal, and then once it starts screwing into the wood, so I wouldn't want to do this with MDF. If you did it with MDF, you need the proper wee insert screws. With this good quality plywood here, no problem. Right, it's all screwed tight together. The main advantage to me doing the bed this way now, if I go to, now that all these brackets are in place, if I go to put down carpet, I just loosen the 4 screws on each side, and the whole bed can be taken out to the shed. Carpet put down, brought back in, tighten 4 screws. But I've got to get this middle bar in. To get it middle bar level, that's halfway long, so that the wee bracket has to go on there halfway across. But for me to get it proper level, because it's not level, that front's a wee bit low now. The best way is to get a straight object. Why hard getting a straight object? And I'll bring that bar up. So the bar's touching there, it's touching there, and when it's touching there, that's the right height. There's the middle. I'll put my bracket on there. Because it's slightly low, I'll just have it so the bar's just not touching, because once I raise that up a wee bit, that'll bring this bar up slightly. So that's how I'm going to screw the wee bracket on now. I'll screw it in place, just so I won't have a tight fit with lifting up. I'll just have it just a hairline distance from touching that bar. And then we'll do this, lift that, put the bar then up the front, raise that bracket up slightly, and that's the dead level. And then what I have to do then, I'm putting in extra feet. There was wee feet here not long enough, so I'm going to use that stand, cut that, attach it on here, and I won't screw it to the floor. So I need to make sure the whole bed is sitting completely square before I screw them to the floor. So we'll get this wee bracket on here now. Nobody else makes a bed like this, do they? Like, that's her screwed on there now. The thing is now, getting the slats of wood is going to be a problem. It's going to be, I know when it was a flat pack, it was a problem. Try and get the both in, you sort of have to, it's just going to mess about trying to get these slats in. I need to put in this here now. So I measured diagonal to diagonal to get it square. That's how you're supposed to do it. I could go with floor tiles, you know. Floor tiles shouldn't be that far out. That line floor tiles there. And but I'm allowed to be a certain bit out anyway, because these are big square bars. When I cut that, it's going to rest on that, but the best is still be able to move back and forward. So I'll cut these two now, and I'll get them under here and screw to the floor. They're almost finished now. I've cut these metal things. They're not accurate, don't have to be accurate. As long as they're touching, that's all they need to be. I've screwed them to the floor. So these bars now will go down inside them. I reckon that'll be a good job there now. So then bars go down inside them holes, and then hooks on there on each side. And that's her now, like. That is her. I'm tempted to paint it. I might leave it the next, I don't know. There's going to be a lot of dust on here yet. I might leave the staining till better weather. I might leave the doors lying open. I'm going to put in, I need to get the bed up now because we linen lies on it during the day, like. Some of the screws were a wee bit long. I need to take them off an angle grinder. I deliberately didn't put on shorter screws because shorter screws are thinner, and that's the ones on the original bed, so the screws must be strong enough. Some of my fixed screws can be cheap shade at times, you know, and they can break. And then about half the screw breaks, so they're the ones with the bed. I put them back in, and I get the angle grinder to grind them off. That'll be all sanded off, all black stain, and then I put a black curtain, be black linen. I might still have one from the original bed, wouldn't have one for the other side. It's just on my curtain wire. Cause it's just them grey boxes go underneath. It makes it handy for hoovering and stuff as well. Like you can hoover on underneath without having to open doors. Cause doors get in the way. If I used it all the time, doors. But you see the space I have here now. That's what I've been worried about from the very start. The amount of space. By the time I built this unit, got the radiator on. Although that's a double radiator, it's only single fin. If I went for a double fin radiator, it would have been on out to here. And you have the space to soon be ate up, like, and that's an important space. If I'm getting old and you need a Zimmer frame, and you want to head on out to the shower, you want space to get past. These drawers, I got them second hand, £70. They were during the council dump, but I might stick them drawers over against that wall there. All depends what bedside tables I get, or what I do over there. But I might shove them and keep this passageway pretty wide. I always fancied a wee seat there, you know. Next job now is to make this wider here, and I'm going to see maybe making a wee seat there for Luna. She'll lie there when the sun shines on. It'll be wide enough for her to lie on, but it still has to be so it lifts up for the TV underneath. So see what happens there. But wee Luna should maybe happy enough in the bed now. So I'm going to start getting these slats in. It's going to be a nightmare getting them in. Give the place a hoover, and I might just put a wee coat of stain around the outside, you know. I imagine the headboard, I have to get a shelf up, you know, for the projector. I must get that up now before I put the slats on. I'll probably trim that off with a wee bit of wood. I'll get a wee bit of wood that sits out to trim that off nicely, rather than just flat, the way it is now. I've left the Allen key and tapped the radiator, that's deliberate. So if I ever need to take the bed apart, I can do. So I'll get this projector shelf up. I've marked out where the projector has to go. But you need a shelf sort of lined up with the bed, and the projector's going to sit to one side. Maybe later on I might put the projector on the roof, but in the meantime we'll stick her up there. I've got all the slats down the bed. That bracket was just slightly out, I had to move it over a bit. Everything's worked out. That was I had my old room. The projector used to hang from the top shelf upside down. I left the projector there and that's actually hanging. There's no brackets underneath that shelf. That's actually hanging. This is all scrap woods I've had. I should have the original wee shelves that came out here from the side. It was on my old room. And then I put a smaller shelf here, probably windowsill wood. I'll take the one out of my spare room now that I'm using. And that's the one my clock and all sit on. The clock and all can plug into the sockets. And then I'll put one of them socket boards up from the other one to run the projector. But the projector is 100% perfect, lined up with the screen. Tried it out. There's my wee legs now. And because it's slightly wood, I was slightly out there, I still have room to move, and I still hold up. Look at the storage that gives me underneath now. It's not only that, but as I do anything else in the room now, I can keep the tools under there in the meantime, instead of tripping on them. I'll get the mattress back on now for Luna. I ain't going to paint nothing until everything's finished. And I even leave it the next summer before doing any painting, because I'll probably change them shelves again. That's what I have at the minute. But other than that, it's working out pretty well. I say, if I have to get a hospital bed in now, just undo a couple of wee screws and the bed comes apart. It's just like a normal bed and the headboard stays there. I took the wallpaper off the wall. The paste is all sticky in the wall, so if I'm going to paint it, the paste will need to come off. But I imagine I'm probably not pepper in the walls. I don't know. Oh no, it's going on carpet tiles, it's going on the walls. So I put on 3 big screws up there holding that, and that's hanging. So that can still work with the carpet tiles. I was thinking of bringing the headboard right up and across the roof. But we'll see what it's like when I use up all these wee scraps. But that's all I'm going to do now. I'll get the sister and I give a hand up with this mattress. I'm no rush to say, I'm no rush to paint it. Once it's painted, it'll look brilliant. That wood, it doesn't matter what age it is. When you put a fresh bit of, it's not, it's dear stuff to buy, that black stuff. But it's hard wearing. Very hard wearing, so it is. And when you get to put a wee coat on it, it's like brand new, so it is. So, get the mattress up, get the chips on, get rid out, and that'll be it. I want to get this done next, get that new worktop on, because the sheets of plywood is out there, they're tripping me. I want to use up what's there. So this has to be replaced now to make a radio shelf out of it and get this foil bent round the way it's supposed to be. And that's what I mean, there's bits and pieces need tweaked. And maybe by the time, that's a wee cabinet I made before. Maybe by the time I get the computer desk in there, I want to change that cabinet. I might even take the cabinet out of my room I'm using now for the computer and put it there. It just gets it out of the way now. But it gives me wee shelves now to put stuff on. So we'll get the mattress on.